You ever notice how a woman's energy shifts? Subtly, almost unnoticeable at first. One week she's leaning in, laughing at your jokes, touching your arm. The next, her eyes feel distant, her words colder. You replay every text, every word, trying to figure out what changed. Here's the truth no one tells you. She didn't lose interest because of what you said. She lost it because of what you showed. Women can sense weakness faster than you think. Not the kind born from honesty or pain, but the kind that tells her you've lost your center. The kind that whispers you'll do anything not to lose her. Once she sees that version of you, she can't unsee it. So today, I'm exposing the 7 subtle signs women notice that make them instantly lose respect. And more importantly, how to fix each one through calm, stoic strength. Stay till the end, because I'll share one shift that turns quiet weakness into unshakable masculine presence, without acting tough or pretending to be something you're not. First, you apologize just to keep her happy. There's a certain kind of man who says sorry more than he breathes. He bumps into someone. Sorry. She takes too long to reply. Sorry. She gets mad even if he did nothing. Sorry again. And here's the thing. It's not that he's a bad guy. It's that he's scared. Scared to lose her, scared to upset her, scared to be seen as too much. But women notice that. And once they do, something in them shifts. You see, when you over-apologize, you're not being humble. You're showing that your peace depends on her approval. It's like telling her, I'll bend myself however you need me to, just don't walk away. That energy isn't love, it's fear. And fear never pulls attraction, it repels it. Imagine this. She questions your opinion, and instead of calmly standing by your words, you shrink and say, "You're right, sorry." You just told her that your voice doesn't matter, that you'll silence yourself to keep things smooth. And when a woman sees that, she doesn't think, he's kind. She thinks, he can't stand on his truth. Strength isn't in never apologizing. It's in apologizing when it's real. When there's actual fault, not just tension. A man who can look a woman in the eye and say, "You might not like what I'm saying, but it's honest," commands quiet respect. That's stoic energy, measured, calm, unbothered. Start paying attention to how often you say, sorry. Catch yourself before it slips out. Replace it with silence. Or better, replace it with self-assurance. If you didn't do anything wrong, there's no reason to explain or shrink. You're not on trial. When you stop apologizing for existing, you start showing her that you value yourself. And that's the moment attraction breathes again. 2. You explain yourself like you're on trial. You ever notice how some men talk too much when they feel nervous? They start explaining every move like they owe the world a reason. "I'm just hanging with the guys tonight, but don't worry, it's not going to be late. I'm not ignoring you, my phone just died, I swear." It sounds harmless, but to a woman, it screams uncertainty. A confident man doesn't justify his choices. He doesn't hand over long speeches for simple actions. He informs, not defensively, not anxiously, just clear and calm. "I'm heading out. I'll text you later." That's it. No background story, no nervous smile. When you explain too much, she feels something off. She hears your words, but senses your fear. You're trying to avoid her disapproval before it even comes. And deep down, she doesn't want to be your judge. She wants to feel your stability. Picture it like this. If you have to convince her you're trustworthy, you already lost the frame. The man who trusts his own judgment doesn't need to over-explain. His silence says more than his words ever could. Women test this unconsciously. When you start rambling, they pull back emotionally, not because they're mean, but because your words carry neediness. You're seeking reassurance, not connection. The fix? Get comfortable being misunderstood sometimes. You don't have to explain everything. Say what needs to be said, then move on. Let her sit with it. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Stoic men aren't mysterious because they're quiet. They're grounded because they don't chase understanding. And that quiet certainty, it's magnetic. 3. You need constant reassurance. Do you still love me? Are you mad at me? Did I say something wrong? These questions might seem harmless, even sweet. But to her, they drain attraction faster than you think. When you keep fishing for reassurance, it's not love. It's insecurity. You're asking her to carry your emotional weight, to soothe a wound that's not hers to heal. And after a while, it stops feeling romantic. It feels heavy. Think about it. Every time you ask for validation, you're teaching her that your peace depends on her words. That if she doesn't say, "I love you" often enough, you start spiraling. That's pressure. And pressure kills polarity. She might comfort you at first, say, "Of course I love you." But deep down, she's thinking, why can't he feel that on his own? Because what she truly craves isn't a man who needs reassurance. It's a man who gives it. Through his presence, through his calm. The fix? You got to start catching those thoughts when they come up. That moment when your mind says, she's distant. She doesn't care anymore. Instead of texting her right away, breathe. Tell yourself, maybe nothing's wrong. Sit with the uncertainty. Let it pass. That small pause builds your inner muscle. It's the start of emotional independence, and when you stop needing constant reassurance, something changes. Your silence becomes strength. Your calm becomes attractive. Remember, love doesn't grow from anxiety. It grows from grounded energy. The less you chase reassurance, the more she naturally gives it. 4. You put her before your mission. There's a fine line between caring and losing yourself. A man starts dating a woman, and slowly everything else fades. The gym, gone. His friends, barely see them. His goals, pushed to later. And before he realizes, his entire life starts orbiting around her. At first, she likes it. The attention feels good. But soon it becomes too much. She feels the weight of being his everything. And no woman truly wants to be a man's whole world. She wants to join his world. When you start canceling plans, skipping your routine, or changing your vision just to please her, you stop being a leader in your life. You become a follower of emotion, and women sense that. They lose respect because your purpose got blurry. A woman doesn't want to compete with your mission. She wants to witness it. She wants to see you chase something beyond her. That's what creates admiration. That's what turns love into desire. You fix this by remembering one truth. She's meant to walk beside you, not replace your path. Go to the gym. Keep your focus. Build your life like she could leave tomorrow and you'd still be solid. Because that's real power. Loving her without losing yourself. When you start putting your mission back at the center, you stop seeking her approval. You move with purpose again. And that purpose, that's the oxygen that keeps attraction alive. 5. You avoid conflict like it's fire. Most men think avoiding conflict keeps things peaceful. But really, it builds quiet resentment and kills respect. You know that moment when she says something that crosses a line, and you feel it in your gut. But you just smile and say, "It's fine." Yeah, that's not peace. That's fear pretending to be calm. Women notice how you handle discomfort. When you avoid it, they lose trust. Not because they want drama, but because they want to feel safe. Safe knowing that if life gets messy, you won't fold. She might test you on purpose. Say something sharp just to see how you'll respond. Not out of cruelty, but instinct. She's checking if your peace is real or fragile. You don't have to argue, shout, or dominate. You just have to hold your ground. Look her in the eyes and say, "I didn't like that." No yelling, no pleading, just calm authority. That moment tells her more about your strength than any fancy words ever could. Because a man who can stay composed in conflict shows he's in control of himself, and that's the kind of control women trust. Avoiding conflict doesn't make you easy, it makes you forgettable. Facing it with grace, that's masculine, that's stoic. 6. You overshare your emotions too early. You meet her, and within a few days, you're telling her everything, your past heartbreak, your fears, your insecurities. You think it builds intimacy. It doesn't. It builds imbalance. She doesn't know you yet. She hasn't earned that part of you. When you unload your emotions too soon, she feels responsible for them, and that responsibility turns into emotional weight. Now, don't get it twisted. Stoicism isn't about bottling up feelings, it's about timing. Emotional control isn't silence, it's direction. When you tell her everything too early, you're showing her that your emotions control you, not the other way around. That's not attractive, it's unstable. You want her to feel your depth, not your chaos. Let her earn the deeper layers over time. Share pieces slowly when there's trust. Let her discover your story, not drown in it. When you open up gradually, your emotions gain weight. They matter more because they're not spilled, they're offered. That's the difference between emotional maturity and emotional dependency. The Stoic man doesn't hide his heart. He guards it until it's the right time to reveal it. And when he does, it feels powerful, not pitiful. 7. You wait for her to lead. This is the quiet killer of attraction, the passive man, the one who waits for her to text, waits for her to make plans, waits for her to decide if there's something. He doesn't realize that waiting is still a choice. It's the choice of hesitation, and hesitation kills polarity. Women want to feel your direction. They want to be led, not controlled, but guided. It's in their nature to respond to certainty. When you don't lead, she starts leading out of necessity, not desire. And when that happens, attraction flips. Picture this. She's asking, "What do you want to do tonight?" And you say, "I don't know. Whatever you want." Sounds harmless, right? But it's another small signal that you can't decide, that you're unsure. Leadership in relationships isn't about dominance. It's about initiative. Saying, "Let's do this. I'll handle it. I'll pick you up." Those small moments show direction, and direction builds trust. You don't need to plan her life. Just show that you have a plan for yours, because when a man knows where he's going, she naturally wants to follow. Stop waiting for signs, texts, or permission. Move first, speak first, decide first. That's not arrogance, it's clarity. And clarity, brother, is what women find irresistibly masculine. Here's the thing most men never realize. Weakness isn't loud. It doesn't show up shouting or crying. It shows up quietly, in how you react, how you speak, and how much of yourself you're willing to lose just to keep someone close. Women don't lose interest because you're emotional or kind. They lose it when you stop respecting yourself, when you start moving from fear instead of calm, from anxiety instead of grounded energy. You see, Stoicism isn't about shutting down emotions or pretending nothing affects you. That's just fake toughness. Real Stoicism means you feel everything, but nothing controls you. You can be soft, but not breakable. You can care, but not collapse. When you fix these 7 signs, something subtle happens. The energy flips. You stop chasing her attention, and suddenly she starts leaning back toward you. You stop over-explaining, and now your silence speaks louder. You stop waiting, and now she follows your lead naturally. Women sense when a man's energy is stable. They relax around that. Because your calm presence gives her what she craves most. Safety. Not physical safety alone, but emotional safety. The kind that says, no matter what happens, I won't lose myself. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Stop trying to win her approval and start earning your own. Because when you truly value yourself, you stop begging for respect and start commanding it. Quietly, naturally, effortlessly. That's when she looks at you differently. That's when her tone softens, her eyes linger, and her attraction grows without words. So, before you chase another woman, fix your foundation. Stand taller, talk slower. Stop explaining every move and protect your peace like it's sacred. Because it is. And trust me, when you stop moving like a man afraid to lose her, that's when she starts fearing losing you. If this video hits something inside you, don't just nod. Act on it. Fix the behaviors quietly, day by day. Watch how your confidence shifts, how people treat you differently, how women start noticing your calm energy. And if you're serious about mastering this balance between masculine stoicism and emotional intelligence, subscribe right now. This channel isn't for boys trying to impress women. It's for men learning to understand themselves. You fix you, and everything else follows.